Fair use, fair use.
Today, our cities are flooded with illegal aliens. Americans are being squeezed out of the labor force and their jobs are taken. By the way, you know who's taking the jobs that are created? 107% of those jobs are taken by illegal aliens. And you know who's being hurt the most by millions of people pouring into our country? The black population and the Hispanic population, because they're taking the jobs from our black population, our Hispanic population, and they're also taking them from unions. The unions are suffering because of it.
All right. So you heard, you heard and you saw exactly, what those two Southern Kingdom women, what they were saying, right? But the main thing is, which they don't understand, is we are yet to stay in our captivity. They never let us go. They refuse to let us go. All right. And in the political, it's just everything that's going on right now. It's a spiritual thing. Okay. And this is the end times. And again, there's nothing new under the sun. They never let us go. We've been in several captivities. Okay. So when you heard Donald Trump say, what did he say? He said, we tried. He said the people from the inner city. That's a big dog whistle. You know what that means? So-called black people, man. He said, we tried. You remember on the campaign trail? They're taking black jobs. So in his mind, in his mind and everybody else's mind, these even these low down, not well-to-do Edomites, they were thinking, we gonna get our slaves back. That's exactly what they were thinking. Oh, okay, they taking black jobs. Oh, we see. So we'll deport the Northern Kingdom because they know who we are. These devils, they're not stupid. Scripture said they wiser than Daniel. Okay, their heart is deep. They search out iniquities, man. All right. So what they were thinking was, we're gonna deport all them, and that's what he ran on, or whatever. Deport all the Northern Kingdom brothers and sisters, right? Mainly men. All right, this is really a twofold thing. All right, and then we're gonna have the black slaves back. They're gonna work in the fields. Okay. Now you heard what she said, and the shit makes sense. And basically, that's slavery. And see, now they want. Now they realize Nero's he screwed up, but this is all by design anyway. Now they realize that their base and their people, Egyptians against Egyptians, which is happening in the book of Isaiah. That these people are pissed off because they can no longer sustain their farms and their businesses without the Northern Kingdom. And the scripture talks about how Northern Kingdom, are good hard workers like that. But see, they're going to get their shit back. Everything's going to come back to them. Their asses is going in slavery. Let's read it. Revelation 13 and verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. This is simple scriptures. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Who led the Northern and Southern Kingdom into captivity? Who did that? All right. First and foremost, we were sold to the Grecians from them damn Hamites and them Ishmaelites. Oh, they all had a part in it, all the nations. Okay? Sold to these damn Edomites, man. And we still here. All right? Shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. That's what the saints are patiently waiting on, to get your ass back. You see? And that's what's going to happen. He's going to put the power, when that New Jerusalem come down, it's a wrap. Searching your asses out from the holes in the rocks and the clefts and the bunkers and space stations under the sea. Huh? Yeah, that's exactly what's going to be happening. Yeah, I got some articles I pulled up too. Jeremiah 50 verse 33, thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast, and they refused to let them go. Just like today. Refused to let them go. Again, that's what they thought. Nero, you heard what he said? He said, we already tried. We already tried to get the niggas back in the fields. That's exactly what that's what he said. If we could pull up the ad talking about work 7 days a week for 3 months for $11 an hour. Nigga, that's slave labor. That's slave labor, man. 12 hours a day in a 110-degree heat. That's slavery, man. Picking blueberries and whatnot. You can't make this shit up. Matter of fact, here, let me see if I can find that. Let's see. Yeah, because they put out an ad, blueberry picker deals. Let's see. When the harvest is blueberries. And now that you got rotten fruit, hanging that can't be used. You got rotten, you got cows and, cattle or whatnot. Then they need to be milked and all that. Let's see, best fruit pickers. Let's see. Picking blueberries ad. Yeah. Let's see if I can find that. 10-hour shift, 7 days a week, $11 an hour. Look at this. Look at this shit. They expected the Southern Kingdom to just, okay. Nah, man. 10-hour shifts, 7 days a week, $11 an hour. This job ad went viral for all the wrong reasons. What the hell is slave labor? You look up the 13th Amendment. What does it say? The slaves are free unless they go to prison. And it's been talks of them, having Jakes. It's a bunch of Jakes, Northern and Southern Kingdom, having Jakes work at McDonald's for free. You see? Refeeding you poison. Okay? You heard what that rabbi said. We like to put it in the breakfast sausages. And Jake and that pork demon. Let's continue on, man. Damn, this is crazy.
Making slavery okay in 2025. Trump just said that if farmers decide to take responsibility for the Hispanic workers that have been working their field for 10 or 15 years, then they can keep them and they don't have to be deported as long as they take responsibility for them. Does that sound familiar? You know why all this sounds familiar? Because after slavery, they used sharecropping and also convict leasing to tie black people to the land. They did not have a voice. They were afraid because their boss held all the power above their head. This is the exact same thing, but now it's with Hispanics. That's not compassion, that's control. Keeping people in the field, but they have no voice, they have no citizenship, they have no real freedom. It's just a business deal. It keeps their business rolling. They don't have a voice, but they can pay taxes. I mean, this is the same play. Work decades, pay taxes, live in fear. And the crazy thing about this is the Hispanic workers can only stay if the farmer signs their permission slip. So they know these workers are essential, but instead of giving them real status, they keep them dependent. That's not reform, that's exploitation. That's modern day bondage dressed up as a policy. This is Lady Queen Black with News.
So my good sis J Doll says she wants to see the clip. She said, let me see the clip. Ask and you shall receive.
Back to their country with a pass back in legally, and we're doing things that are very difficult to do and very complex, but it works really well. We're sending them back, and then they're schooling, they're learning, they're coming in legally. We have a lot of that going on, but we're taking care of our farmers. We can't let our farmers not have anybody, these people, you can't replace them very easily. People that live in the inner city are not doing that work. They're just not doing that work. And they've tried, we've tried, everybody tried. They don't do it. These people do it naturally. I said, what happens if they get it to a farmer the other day? What happens if they get a bad back? He said, they don't get a bad back, sir, because if they get a bad back, they die. I said, that's interesting, isn't it? These are very, you know, in many ways, they're very, very special people. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so now that you have actually heard the clip, that you've heard the recording for yourself, let's actually break down exactly what Donald Trump has said so far. He started off that clip or that recording stating, oh, how, you know, they have policies and plan of trying to help the farmers, right? Because they desperately need these migrant workers. They need these undocumented migrant workers. They can't leave them without anybody. That right there is admission that the United States agriculture economy is taking a hit behind his policies and his mass deportations. That's the first thing. Donald Trump stresses the fact that the American farmers cannot be left without anybody. They cannot be left without anybody. And then he further goes on by saying that the undocumented migrant workers that he once was calling illegal criminals are very, very special people. They're very, very special people that cannot be easily replaced. Right after Donald Trump makes that statement and say that they cannot be replaced easily, he goes right into stating that people, inner city people, are not doing that work. Words have meanings, okay? When it comes to this government and this American society, when they say inner people, they're referring to Black people. And when he said that kind of work, he's talking about field work. In addition to him stating that inner city people will not be doing that kind of work, he goes on by saying that I've tried, we've tried, everybody's tried. Do you know who everybody is? The American government, white supremacy. And do you want to know what their version of trying was? DEI eliminations. DEI eliminations. And not just that, but the undoing of so many policies and acts that actually allowed for Black people to have equal footing amongst white people in certain areas, in certain spaces. The elimination of DEI programs and incentives were intended to push Black people out of the spaces that white people deemed should only be for them. And I'm talking about admin jobs. I'm talking about jobs in medicine, in accounting. They wanted Black people to go back to back-breaking work, okay? Being in the fields, hospitality work. That's what they wanted. As of right now, 300,000 women have been displaced from employment, okay? They have lost their jobs. And they thought, and when I say they, this white supremacy American government thought that those 300,000 Black women were going to go back into the field. Instead, they got creative. And so with all of these mass deportations, they thought that they were going to be able to fill the roles with their original laborers, okay?
Yeah, his famous scripture right here, Baruch 3 and verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity. What does that mean? We are yet this day in our captivity. It's a part of the curses. That's what Jakes just don't get it, man. They don't understand what's happening. All right, it was prophesied that we would be in this condition. All right, only oppressed and spoiled, and no man shall save thee. All right, all throughout all our generations. Okay, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us, for a reproach and a curse. See, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which was us, which departed from the Lord Yahweh, our power, man. You know, hear Israel, the commandments of life, give ear unto wisdom. And what is the beginning of wisdom? What is it? Having a healthy fear of Yahweh Yahweh Shai, man. But these jakes, they don't got it. Let's read verse 34. Their Redeemer is strong. The Lord Yahweh of hosts is his name. That's another thing they don't understand and don't get. It's like, you know, you teach people what the names are and they can't even repeat it, man. Scripture said his name is dreadful among the heathen. There be this thing, all right? All right? He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of what? Babylon. See, we just read verse 33. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. Where's Babylon? Where's the new mystery Babylon? AKA, it's America. And don't you see what's happening? He's going to disquiet these damn devils, man. You know, they're getting ready to come in with like a flood because they know they have a short time. They bring in the MOTB, and that's on legislative bills right now. This shit is passing. the CBDCs, all that shit. And in the meantime, no, everybody got, the only thing anybody has to talk about is the Hebrew Israelites. Yeah. Verse 35, a sword is upon the Chaldeans, saith the Lord Yahweh, and upon the inhabitants of Babylon, and upon her princes, and upon her wise men. That's why the shit ain't working anymore. You know? Look at this right here. What does this say? Black jobs. What the hell is a black job? Why do you think, pay attention to this. Why do you think they got rid of all them administrative jobs, mainly the Jake woman, the end up was enjoying, all up in the offices with hanging pictures up with their own children. Okay? Why do you think they got rid of all that? They got rid of, get rid of the DEI hires. Why? Because they thought niggas was gonna go back in the fields. That's exactly, hey, you just saw it. Nero said we tried. Anyway, Trump draws pushback after anti-immigration rant. What does it say? The former president also invoked Hispanic jobs. See that? They all in on it. They all Confederate. Hispanic jobs in a debate. All right? Prompting, Slovakia, jokes and confusion over whether immigrants are really taking jobs away from U.S. citizens. And you heard exactly what he just said. Do I got to repeat it again? No, black jobs, damn it. That's what he said. Like Jake, like Southern Kingdom Jake was doing that kind of work. No, this is crazy. These devils are crazy, man. Diabolical. See? And again, man, now, and the scriptures talks about there be a famine and pestilences. Yahweh Shem Yahushua is the master chess player, and these people think that they in charge and actually making moves and doing something, man, they ain't doing shit. But being the damn devil they always were created to be. Romans 9 and verse 22. Vessels of wrath fitted to destruction. One lump unto honor and one lump unto dishonor. Let's read a little bit more of this. This is crazy. You Jakes, man, you better get a handle on what's happening. You better have a fear of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. What exactly are black jobs? And are they really at risk from the recent surge of immigrants? Okay. They're taking black jobs. This is what he said. Now, and it could be 18, it could be 19 or even 20 million people, former President Donald Trump said in debate. Yeah, he was running on that shit. And hey, he got picked. There ain't no vote nobody in. He got picked for a reason. And I truly believe through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, he's gonna usher in this shit, man. It's quickly, the prophecies are quickly popping off the pages. Okay? Thursday about the role of immigration play in the United States economy. They're taking black jobs. They're taking Hispanic jobs. That doesn't even make any sense. Anyhow, and you haven't seen it yet. But you're going to see something that is going to be the worst in our history. Now, what the hell was he talking about? You're going to see something that's been the worst in our history, man. Hey, the Lord is in the mind of the kings. It's Proverbs 21, 21st chapter. Huh? Exodus 21 verse 16 reads, and he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. Now, did you hear that? Okay, fine. We'll let the northern kingdom come back, but you basically gave them slave ownership over them. That the period point. That's exactly what it is. That first young lady, she was right. That is the definition of slavery. That's crazy, man. And we damn sure still in his hand. He refused to let us go. Think about it, man. And you got the likes of, these people, the Democratic Party. They all two wings of the same damn eagle. The Democratic Party was the Republican Party is the ones that freed the slaves. Nigga, we wasn't never free. Never. As the scripture said. If we were free, how about this? Every time Jake gets a foothold, becomes higher than the enemy becomes higher than the oppressor, they burn the fucking cities down. Or they just, drown towns. I just put the video up the other day of these super redneck assholes. And screw them, man. Turning Jake truck over. Running them off, 5 or 6 of them. They ain't never changed. There ain't nothing new under the sun. See? He shall be put to death, man. That's what the scripture said. He shall be put to damn death. What is the context of Lincoln, since we on that subject, saying if I could save the Union without freeing any slave, I would do it? Well, simply because it was just a transfer. It was a transfer. It wasn't okay. You're free now. And then what did they create a system or a group called the freaking slave patrol, man? Which is what? The police. And it's still the same thing. But Jake refuses to see what the hell's going on here. See? If I could do it without, well, you know what? He did. Because we damn sure wasn't free. And the scriptures back that up. We were never free. Let's see. Something else I wanted to pick up. Pick up here. Give me one moment. Stay tuned. This is, these people are out of their mind, man. Thinking we're gonna have this, any reparations. True reparations is slaves. That's why our gates shall be open continually, as it says in the book of Isaiah, 60th chapter. All right, let's read this. I got a couple more and I'll close out. All right, that's exactly what their damn plans were. They planned on doing this and doing that, but the shit didn't quite work out like they wanted it to. And now, and you're gonna have no other kingdom that will do this, man, because because they got to feed their families. We all got to feed our families, man. Okay? I mean, it is what it is. And, and coming from, a country that the dollar, or Slovakia, the peso or whatever prospective country they're coming from, and they're criminals. And ICE is deporting American citizens. Deporting people that have been on, this is one guy, this one Northern Kingdom brother that was on the fire department and not getting paid for it. He just wanted to make a difference in his community, right? For 30 fucking years, man. 30 years. They just come and get him. And we all know and heard the accusations and seen the receipts of what they're doing to some of the Northern Kingdom brothers and sisters, man. So throwing them off airplanes and shit. Okay? Yeah, that's Esau, man. Psalms 2 and verse 8. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance. That's wealth. Uh-huh. And the uttermost part of the earth for your possession. You see that? The uttermost part of the earth for your possession. That's everything, man. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings. Be instructed, ye judges of the earth. Serve the Lord Yahweh with fear. There it is. And rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and ye perish from the way. When his wrath is kindled, but a little. Blessed are all they that put their trust in him. And that is 100% truth. Call Allah Yahweh Shem Yahushai. See? He said, ask of me and I'm going to give you these damn people. The scripture said thou shalt meditate terror day and night. Since I quoted it, I'll read it. Isaiah 60 verse 10. All the sons of the strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee, for in my wrath I have smote them. But in my favor I have had mercy on thee. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. So you ain't gonna have no damn choice. You keep pouring it on. You furthered our affliction, Esau, Edom. You went too far, and you're getting ready to pay for it. And Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, it's time. Hopefully this lesson was edifying, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Hasham Yahushua. And every chance you get, chant this place down. Kwam Yasserala and Wa Abai Babal. Boom, Shalom.